Welcome back to the channel. My name is Luna and I am happy to have you here. We are going into another fun speed build. Before we get into the video, be sure to thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the little bell so you don't miss any of the next videos. And also, if you would like to show some support to the community and myself, it is free to do this. Be sure to use my Epic Game Creator Code anytime you're in the Epic Games app or website Lunagalaxy. So I am doing a build, which you can do it as a challenge. You can do it as just something extra that you want to do in your build, especially if you do your own save file. I am starting with the rainbow of color in no specific order. If anything, it's in the order that my chat and Discord and my community kind of threw out colors at me. We're starting out with purple, imagine that, but we are doing entirely one color builds, and honestly, it really is 98% one color. In this situation, we are using purple or violet, lavender, whichever one you want to call it. It's in the same family. Those are the shades that I filtered out the game to do specifically in purple. So I'm actually really excited about this because it challenges you to use not only one color, but I tend to find things that I didn't, one, know I had, and two, things that I had honestly never used before, because they may be colors I have never touched. And again, this is like not only a challenge, but also just broaden your horizons of, hey, you know, let's try and use some other colors in typical builds or normal builds that we would normally do. So the goal is to filter out your game and only use that specific color, and this way it's purple. And I actually found a lot more purple stuff than I was expecting, especially as I was doing the landscaping. The flowers and some of the things on the inside. There was pretty much only maybe one thing that per room that I was doing that like really didn't have any purple. So I kind of, anytime I didn't find purple, I would pretty much just stick to white. I feel like that was probably the best accent color for me to use if I am missing any kinds of purple. But I didn't want to make it a super big build. I don't think any of these color builds will be big builds. They'll be pretty common. Probably the most I'll go is maybe 3 bedrooms. Because as I'm winding down in my own save file, I'm actually getting through a lot of my lots. And so some of my bigger builds, I actually wanted to keep to some type of community lot or some type of retail store. So I think my housing might start dwindling down to even the apartments, which apartments are something I haven't even really touched, even like gameplay wise. So I think doing some of the color builds might be perfect for that, because it's also going to diminish doing a lot of landscaping and we'll be able to focus mainly just inside the build. So as I started like finishing up the outside, I didn't want to keep it, I didn't want to make it like too expensive. So it actually is under 100k simoleons. I believe it ended up to be 77k simoleons. So it's not too bad to be a semi-starter home. Like it is it is a little bit higher than that 50k, but I feel like it's enough that it's a good home to start in. It is a 1 bedroom, 1 bath. And once I started doing this, like I love the color purple. So I did want to depict it off of me, and so my vision was that the sim that live here is some form of musician. They love music. I ended up giving them a guitar, a keyboard. They have a couple of music posters around. They also have a cat. That's another thing that I'm trying to make myself do a little bit more of, is play with pets, because as people know, I'm not a fan of pets. So I was looking at this, I was like, you know what, someone who lives here loves purple and probably likes a cat. I don't like cats, but I just threw it out there. So I wanted to go in and really kind of picture the sim that I was gonna put in this house. They are very eclectic. Of course, they love purple, but they're also eclectic in their vibe, in their artwork. Like no matter what, it's gonna have an accent or there's gonna be purple on it, but they're still just very vibrant, and they're probably very upbeat, funny even. And like I said, they love music, so they're very creative. And they love their cat. But this was a lot of fun because I had never used that tile. That was super cute. And this kitchen actually really appealed to me when I was kind of doing it. And I was like, you know what? This is a pretty cute kitchen. I like how I had a little hangover from a wall. I did struggle trying to find some type of wallpaper to put on this though. With the floors were a little bit more like harder to do because there wasn't a many purple options. So I went ahead and went with the wood floor. I didn't really care for the carpet choices, but wall choices, we have a lot of purple options. But I also didn't want it to clash too much. I didn't want it to be too crazy with it still being a house. So I just went with a plain lavender with baseboards on top and bottom, and then it's kind of like a side island. You pretty much have like a bar there on the side. And then I did put this table here. I was going to use this table as kind of like an accent table, but I changed my mind and actually ended up putting dining room chairs around it. So this open floor area is going to stay pretty open, so you could still entertain. And, you know, if you had to put up some extra tables or, you know, need somewhere to dance, like this open, kind of an open foyer into your living room, kitchen type area actually kind of worked out. And I've noticed that I've been trying to make a little bit more of my builds a little bit more spacious, and having space is perfectly fine if you balance it just right. And I know I had that kind of phase when I got into building. I would make these really big builds, and then all of a sudden, like, the living room would be like a mile away and you have all of this empty space. So now I think I found this comfortable like area to where I can split it all in half, kind of, to where it's big enough for you to play but not small enough to where you feel smushed and everything's on top of each other. But I surprisingly had a lot of fun doing this, and it wasn't as hard as I was expecting it to be. It was a lot easier than the base game only build. Base game only was so hard. To try and make it look at least like it flowed was difficult, but I don't think doing one color is going to be as hard as I thought. So I'm actually really excited to go through and actually do the rest of the colors and kind of think of what I want to do. At some point, I'm going to add a basement, because basements are one thing that I rarely touch, and this is the season of doing things I don't normally do. I was going to put a basement in this one, but then I ended up changing my mind because I ended up really liking the floor plan, and I wanted to keep it at a 1 bedroom, 1 bath, and then I added a little cubby in for the laundry. And so I was like, you know what, no, I actually like this vibe. Like, it just feels like it's perfect for the eclectic type of musician person that would have this house. And it just worked out. I'm actually really excited to end up making the sim for this build. I didn't spend a lot of the time outside. The bathroom is, I like it. I ended up going with a bathtub that had like the curtain on it, and it's black and white, so there wasn't really anything purple, and I wanted to have a full bath and shower. It's very rare that I don't have a full bathroom, and especially in a 1 bathroom house. You never know if your sim ends up having children, and that's one less thing you don't want to, you know, renovate. So it was very limited, so I ended up going with the one that had the black and white curtain, and then just kind of went with the bathroom. The bathroom is not my favorite. Bathrooms are honestly never my favorite. So I wasn't too keen on it. And the bedroom, I still am telling myself to redo it, but it is what it is. I like the rest of the house. I'm not keen on the bathroom and the bedroom, but it happens. There's usually at least 1 or 2 rooms that I end up not liking in my entire build, and I feel like that's better than disliking the entire build. Especially when I didn't think I was going to do this, and I got this build done, I think, in like an hour. So that's the fastest build I think I've ever done. I think I've done a tiny home and it took me longer to do this, and that's really weird. And this is not a tiny home setting at all. But one thing I just remembered, I don't think I put any lot types or anything in this build, so free range to do whatever you want to do. I know when I play it, I'll probably go in and add the things for, like, to boost the musician and all of that together. I don't know what it is, this little back door area. I absolutely adored it, and you know, it's little things. But as I said, when the sim was eclectic, I didn't really have a rhyme and reason for technically matching things. They just love the color purple, and if it's purple, it's going in their house. So I think that's where I've also gotten very comfortable with, and stopped trying to make myself be so matchy all the time. Because you do have those type of people that they just, you know, if they love it, it's going in their home, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I didn't match too much stuff. I think that's kind of why like the bedroom and the kitchen are trying to grow on me, because I told myself, no, we just need the color purple, and we'll make it go as best as possible. Because me being a lover of purple, sometimes I just buy stuff because it is purple, not that it really matches. So a little bit of me snuck in there. But putting little accents to show that they do love music, and they're incorporating that. The room isn't too massive. I think it's a perfectly good size for what we need to do. And I love using those lights. I believe those came with high school years, I think. And I always forget about them. I do end up changing the wallpaper because I was testing out the wallpaper, and then right before I saved, I was like, why does this room look weird? And I was like, this is the wallpaper. Because I wanted to keep the carpet. And I was like, it's the wallpaper. I forgot to change it, so I randomly just go in and grab a random wallpaper and say, yeah, this is good enough. We're done. We're happy with it. But this is in the gallery, and like I said, there is no CC at all. The only difference would be if you don't have any of the DLCs that I've used. I did not filter out any DLC, so keep in mind if you don't have those, they will be taken out of the build, but it's CC free. And like I said, it does value at about 77k simoleons, so it's a little bit higher than a base game, but you know, if you use those cheat codes, you can make it as a base game. It's pretty basic to me. Nothing too crazy is in here. And the space, it's on a 20 by 15 lot, I believe, in Newcrest. I put it on one of those back lots up at the top left-hand corner. I think those are some of the smallest lots that we have, the 20 by 15. So I didn't want to put too much emphasis on the grounds, like the backyard and the front yard. I wanted to make it very crisp, very clean, and my main focus was on the actual house. So the screenshots are going to be coming up. I appreciate you guys and love you so much. And don't forget to check out the live streams that we have over on Twitch as well. Make sure you follow me and turn off those notifications. Have a good rest of your day or night wherever you are. And this is Luna, Galaxy out.